Good morning and g'day, mate. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere with myself and Mr. Icarus here. And today we're going to fix the problem we're standing on top of. The chemical plants. The chemical plants that are not running because we don't have any spiniform. The reason we don't have any spiniform is, well, there are two miners on a distant planet that are trying very, 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 very hard and are failing. We're just not mining the stuff fast enough. So, last episode, we went and made just a few constraint materials. Just a couple of annihilation constraint spheres. The idea of making these was we could come up here and we could make some artificial stars. At the same time, we went and visited Westernhusen, which has cannons firing. It is making out our Dyson swarm. At the same time, it also launched all the rockets to make our Dyson ring. And yesterday's episode, we went and made a whole bunch of antimatter over there. So now we have antimatter. Now we have artificial stars. Now we have power, which means we can go out to... Where is it? This world out here. Which I need to rename to Woodbridge. We need to go out to what is now known as Woodbridge, over here. Woodbridge number 3 to this water world. Because Mr. Woodbridge, lovely chap, he became a supporter of the channel. He became a YouTube member. It's down the bottom, okay? It's down the bottom. It's right beside the like button. If you haven't clicked the like button already, I really recommend that you go click the like button. It's right beside the subscribe button, which is also a button you should have clicked by now. And right beside both those two buttons is also the join button. Mr. Woodbridge went and clicked the join button. He went and became a YouTube member. He went that extra mile and chose to support the channel for the grand total of $1 per month. Why $1 per month? Because that's all I ask. That's all I ask. There are other options if you wish to really support the channel, really go that extra mile. But at $1 per month, I will grant you absolution from any guilt you have from using an ad blocker. Yes, that's what I grant you. At the same time, you go a very long way to help supporting the channel, keep the channel running, and make sure there are more videos like this for you to sit back and enjoy. So, with that out of the way, that's our plan. Our plan is to go out to Mr. Woodbridge number 3 and go and set up our very first off-world mining expedition featuring artificial stars. Now, before I head over there, I need to actually have some artificial stars on me, because that would probably help. I could import them when I get there, but it's gonna be easier if I just take 1 or 2 with me. So we need to come to over here, into there. I'm gonna grab 5. Because each one of these... Can I bring that up, please? Each one of these provides 72 megawatts worth of power. So I don't think I need 5, but, you know, it never hurts. Can I have that color, that thing with that coloring, please? And that should... That is the same coloring. Excellent. Just fill this in before we leave, because all the fractionators left a couple of episodes ago, which means this could all be colored in for some more instant automation, should we have any other high-tech items that would work better on the North Pole. So, our plan is to go there. The materials that we need to bring with us are all the belts. At the same time, I'm gonna need some interplanetary stations. I'm gonna grab a lot of them. I don't know whether I need a lot of them, but I'm gonna grab a lot of them. The other thing we're gonna need is it's a water world. It's a water world with roaming Kevin Costners wandering around the planet. So we're gonna grab just a tiny bit of foundations. In fact, I might want a little bit more. I also want 1 of those because somehow I got 9 in my inventory, and I want 10, 6, 8. Let's go with 8 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, 10 of those. We have warpers, correct. We have lots of miners, which we're going to need. I think we have everything ready to go. I would really like more foundation. Okay, let's go fly over there and grab some foundation physically out of the box. I have fuel upon us. Oh, that can all go as well. Okay, more things to rip up. Fuel. I have fuel upon us. Plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel. Hopefully to get there and hopefully get home. Foundations are right there. Several boxes of foundations. That'll do us. Okay. With that said, I think that's everything we need. I hope so, at least. So, Mr. Woodbridge is 12.134 light years away. It's super close. It's going to take us a minute or two to get there. So, we're going to hit the warp button. We're going to head across. And our plan is quite simple. We're going to put down foundations, obviously, to you know, make sure we can actually mine things. And then we're going to mine all the spiniform on the planet. There are, if we go out in map view, zoom out. We're getting there very, very quickly. There is crude oil here, which I wouldn't mind grabbing. There's also optical grading crystal, which would probably help us as well. So there's a few things that we definitely would be worthwhile our time picking up. But the main thing I want is going to be spiniform. And I'm going to want a lot of it. On top of that, I have no idea if I actually have enough soil pile to do what we do, what we want. I have 2 million, which sounds like a lot until you visit your very first water world and you realize that 2 million doesn't last terribly long. Okay, so with that said, we need to find Woodbridge number 3, which is down there. And we're just going to aim Icarus for Mr. Woodbridge. And then pick a spot to land. That looks like as good a spot as any. And, yeah, this is what happens when you land on a water world sometimes, coming in at extremely high speeds. Well, first off, a water world features, well, water. Lots of water. It's got a nice, like, yellow-white sun out there. But yeah, we've got nothing but water. So let's tell Icarus to move over to there. Cool. Alright, so first plan. First plan is to find a good spot to start. As I have several spiniform right here, this looks like a good spot to start. We'll just wander over in this direction. And then we're going to need a little bit of foundation. Now, you might notice if I hover over like this patch, you can see a couple of important things. One, this is a 7x7 grid that I'm trying to put down, and it's going to consume 98,000 soil pile. I have just over 2 million. Just over 2 million sounds like a lot. Until you start spending at the rate of 100,000 per click. Yeah. We might just want to have that uncolored. Yeah. Cool. There goes 200,000 soil pile. Alright, so, very first mine. First thing we're going to need is we're going to need miners. Now, my idea is to try and get basically as many of these as I can on the first couple of patches, and then, honestly, the more patches I do, the more lazy I'm going to get. It's pretty much how these things run. Needs foundation support. Of course you need foundation support. More foundation. Alright. One there and one there. Okay, so that's that setup. We're going to want a little bit over there. And then I'll probably be best connecting these two together. We're going to want miner, foundation. Foundation. Nope, miner, foundation, yeah. Needs foundation. Of course you need foundation. Alright, so we have our patch number 1, our patch number 2. Next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a big fat tower. Big fat tower to be able to ship everything back. We're going to want to hook up our belts. Now, there are some important things we should cover when it comes to water worlds. First off, your belts travel perfectly fine over water. You may have forgotten this from your home world, but yeah, when you get out to a far distant water world, run your belts across the water. Run your belts across the water wherever you can. You just need foundation for the actual buildings. Everything above and beyond that, nah. Okay, so we have a tower. We're going to set you to do spiniform. Now, the other thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need some power poles. Now, ideally, I do not want to give the tower power because they need a lot of power and I don't want to power them up. We're going to put that one into there, that into there, that into there, connect that one in there, just add some miners, add some belts to some miners, that in there and that in there. Okay, so I have a little bit of free space. I have this little bit of free space, and I have potentially some more free space out here. It's probably going to be wise. Okay, first off, let's power all those up. So currently we need 3 megawatts worth of power. If I put another power pole there, 6 megawatts worth of power. I brought 1 wind turbine. We shall put down 1 wind turbine. Yeah, the satisfaction is so low, the grid is overloaded, nothing actually works. So that didn't quite cut it. I do have some solar panels. We shall put down some solar panels. That is enough to get things up and running, just. Put some solar panels there, solar panels there. Throw some solar panels out here. A few more solar panels, a few more solar panels. Oh! It actually went blue, which is great until nighttime comes, at which point it's not going to be blue. Okay, so let's just remove those for just a second because I should really demonstrate a few things. One, that bad things happen when the grid is off. Okay, really? You're still struggling? Wow. Okay, power grid is... Oh, you too. Power grid is dead. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to bring out slot number 4. Let's go with 4. I want to bring out slot number 4. Slot number 4, we shall say, is antimatter fuel. And I want to bring out the very bare minimum. We're going to go with remote demand. 271 are being shipped out, which is a little bit more than I asked for, but I guess I can't complain. And I'm going to need a bit more foundation. And then we have these lovely things here. These lovely things here are referred to as a miniature sun, an artificial star. And if we put a sorter in there, hang on, let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit further. That ship. That ship's the ship we're waiting on. We're waiting on that ship to get here. Come on, shippy. Come on. In at high speed. Okay, and then slows right the way down for him to come and land. Excellent. And he's going to drop off. Oh, really? He was a pickup? Where's my ship with antimatter? It says it was on its way. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, literally. Oh, it arrived. Okay, never mind. As you can see, we have antimatter on the belt, ready to go in. The problem is, this sorter here requires power to boot up. So, there is a particularly large catch with a antimatter fuel system. A very, very large catch. And that is, if it ever runs out of fuel, it won't auto boot back up. Now, there are ways around that. The primary one I would recommend is have some backup power here. You only need enough to get us up to get the grid up to 10%. It has to be running at 10% of the requirement. Once it gets up to 10%, things like sorters will kick in, things like miners will kick in. They'll run horribly, but they'll run. And really, that's all we're looking for. We're just looking for things to run, because if they run, it means we can, you know, load some fuel in there and things will happen. Now, I'm not going to wait for sunrise. I'm not going to wait for sunrise. I'm going to throw down just what I happen to have in my inventory. Yeah, yeah. Some more solar panels, let's throw a solar panel there, and nope. That's all. Nope, one there. That's all we're gonna get. Okay. You can physically take the antimatter and throw it in there. Once you throw it in there, not only does the sun boot up, which, look, I gotta say, is so cool looking. Unfortunately, solar panels do not get power from miniature suns, but it was worth a shot. Yes, once that's done, the system will run. The sorter will kick in. As you can see, it now has 10 fuel in it, and we are kicking and cooking with gas. So every single time this guy has 1,000 in it, a ship from the other end will get sent here to come pick up some more, some more Spinniform. That's the name I'm going to go with. Okay, so now there is a couple of things on this planet I would like to grab. Coal, not so much. Oil, 96. Each one of these is worth about 10 oil. Would be handy to grab, but what I really want to do is I want to grab all the Spinniform. Now, I have brought a bunch of things with me. I have brought a bunch of towers, so I can have lots of little towers separated. Or my other option, which is probably the method we're going to go with, is going to be miner. Needs foundation, of course you do. Miner. Touch more foundation. Miner. What I have brought is the wireless power towers. The main reason being they have a very, very respectable reach distance between one tower and the next. So I should be able to drop the foundation down to nothing, put one little island in the middle, and be able to get power from island to island with the wireless power towers, and then put down normal Tesla towers at the other end. And then we should be able to, I don't know, hook up all the belts from this mine. Can I get you to come out a few tiles? There to there to there to there. Oh. Come on. There we go. Alright, and then run this into this tower, which is going to be easier said than done, because Jetty was not really paying attention when he ran the first lot of belts. Alright, let's run you into there, and you from there into there. Now we can use straight belts. We're actually going to use a lot less belts than what you would normally use on a water world, but we're still going to go through an obscene amount of belts doing this. Can I remove that and that, and we're going to run that around that side. Yup, that goes in there, that goes in there, and that's pretty much it. We need a few more belts here. Yeah, there's already 4,000 in there. Now, there is certainly a delay. There is a chance that this could fill up with 10,000 ore and have 10,000 ore selected at the other end, and ships in lieu between A and B trying to come pick it up. It's not something I really can do much about. Yeah, it's going to be a limitation. It's why you would normally bring multiple towers and put things on multiple towers, but water worlds are slightly expensive in the landfill, and I only have 2 million. I know only 2 million sounds ridiculous, but I only have 2 million landfill. It's not quite enough to do a water world quite the way I would like to. But we can keep raising things up, and keep throwing down miners. And we should be then good to go. Okay, and then belts. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through a whole bunch of outposting. We're going to use the power of YouTube magic, and I'll see you guys after the magic happens. Yeah. I'll see you guys in a sec. And here we are. Thanks to just a touch of YouTube movie magic, we've finished outposting this planet. It did take a little bit of time, a little bit of power. As you can see, Icarus is very, 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 very done. Happy to walk around on the bottom of the lake at this time, or the bottom of the planet at this time, because he's exhausted, super exhausted. Yeah, we've outposted the whole planet. So, let's give Icarus a little bit of fuel to get him up and running, and let's go over what we've done. So, robots. Can we... Oh, we took off underwater. We're doing good. Like I said, Icarus is a little bit done. Okay. Yeah, we're flying around underwater. Yeah. Okay. Put that in that spot and put those in there. Okay, so planet-wise, we started over here with our mini-sun, and if we turn on that grid as well, we went and grabbed a little bit of spinnerform. I spread out a little bit further, grabbed a bit more spinnerform, came over this way, grabbed some spinnerform, more spinnerform, and then I decided, look, we were far enough away from the original tower, we could probably do a second tower. So I set up a second tower. Again, it's unpowered. None of these towers are powered. And then I found oil right there. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do some oil. So we've grabbed 10, 20, 30 oil, plus another 2 more. So we'll call it about 50 oil, just under, along with the spinnerform all the way over here. We have grabbed, I believe, all the spinnerform on the planet. Yes, we've grabbed all the spinnerform on the planet. And as you can see, this has 10,000 ready to go. And this one has 10,000 ready to go. It just had a ship pick up 1,000. So we are burning through this stuff reasonably well. And at the same time, now Icarus has a little bit of power. We can go look at, well, let's actually look at our power grid. So our power grid, even though we have several towers all just using power and doing nothing, we still have, we're still only using about 10 megawatts out of the whole grid. So generally 10 megawatts, 10 to 20 megawatts is enough to normally power an outpost planet. At the same time, let's just help Icarus out a little bit with a few of these. Can I get another one in? Probably there. As for foundation and soil pile, I got 32,000 soil pile left. We did start off with 2 million. Waterworlds are very, 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 very good at removing any soil pile that you ever thought you had in your inventory, or in your I don't know. Inventory is not the wrong word, because it doesn't really go in your inventory. It's universal stockpile. Any universal stockpile of soil pile you might have had is very good at disappearing. We're going to add some power back in Icarus. What are we adding? We're adding 28 megawatts. If we click on our mini sun, yeah, it's doing fine. We're only at 50% power load, even with Icarus charging from 6 towers. I don't have a 7th tower, otherwise we keep adding towers. As for Antimatter fuel rods, we have... Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. This has a surplus of antimatter. Let's take some with us. Now, I did bring accumulators with me, and I didn't mention it earlier. I probably should mention it now. Icarus is fully charged. No, I don't need that one either. Okay. I did bring a couple of accumulators. Now, accumulators can be used to bootstrap firing up the artificial star. Okay, they're not going to work as a long-term power situation, but it's enough to at least bootstrap the star and get it fired up. At the same time, if we look at each one of my... let's do one on the sunny side. I have a fair bit of dead space around every single mining outpost. And what I could have done, and it's something that maybe I want to try in the future, is just filling this dead space with solar panels. I could add some accumulators there to, you know, to cover us during the nighttime section of the power cycle. But if we look at north and south, I can fit a couple of solar panels on each one of these, and if we're blessed by the gods with solar or wind, maybe not so wind, because wind is a little bit more tricky to put in, but then again, you know, if I can get 4 wind turbines around here with a couple of solar panels thrown in the mix as well, that might cover us. That might cover us for power. It might not be super sustainable, or super long term. It might have dips and fluctuations, but it's definitely a viable option. Just filling in your blank space with solar power or wind turbines. If you don't have antimatter stars, because I have the artificial stars, we're just going to go for that. That's just an easier answer to everything. I still have 4 of these left over for future projects. If we look at the star we're at, Mr. Woodbridge, we can see Woodbridge number 4 has 172,000 optical grading crystals, so that's not worth us worrying about it. You have, hang on, you're all water oceans. Okay. That does have 31,000 fire ice, which sounds like a lot, but 31 million fire ice. But in saying that, the simple fact that we can grab that from a gas or an ice giant means it's really a non-item. So, Mr. Woodbridge, I think we're just about done. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else worth us really grabbing. We've tapped the whole 5 million spiniform, which is what we really needed. I can always come back here at a later stage and tap more iron, tap more copper. But in saying that, just with our random outposting as we've been going, I can't see how much you guys have. With our random outposting we've been doing, if we go back to our TACA, our home system, and have a quick look, see, Snake Games, Lanky, Coffee Capone, and Magna, most of the planets that I've landed there, I've tapped completely, or at least half the nodes on there. So, raw resources wise, we should be good for quite some time. But, with all that said, I think we're going to leave ourselves on this planet. We're going to hang around for a little while, see if we grab another chance sighting of a Kevin Costner, going past on the horizon. But yeah, with all that said, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys back at home for the next episode, where we get to do something about science. Because technically, we have all the science packs. We just need to do the research for Universal Matrix, and then we're good to go. So, with that out of the way, thank you guys again for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. At the same time, a very, very big thank you to Mr. Woodbridge for coming along, being a supporter of the channel, having this pleasant star named after him. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in the very next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.